Hello, today I'm talking about how those of you with a DBWS subscription can link to the Stampin' Up! Shop in such a way that you are listed as the demonstrator by default. I'm starting at the UK homepage, but I'm just going to open the shop in another tab. And if I hop into that tab, you'll see that there's no demonstrator listed when I open this page. Of course, your customers can use the Find a Demonstrator option up here, and the requirements for you being listed in there are given in the Demonstrator Policies document on the demonstrator website. To make it easier for your customers and to send them to a page where you are already listed as their demonstrator, we can add some characters to modify this URL. So what we have to do is, to the end of this URL, we just need to add $DBWS demo ID equals, and then you put your demo ID at the end. And now if I refresh that page with that demo ID added, it should list me as a demonstrator. Okay, so you can see I'm listed here. So if you share that URL along with that $DBWS demo ID at the end, then they would be taken directly to a page which lists you as their demonstrator by default. Now, this doesn't just work for the homepage URL. You can use the same technique to link to a product category or an individual product. So, for example, if I wanted to link to the coordination product release page that lists all of those coordination products, okay, I would simply go to that page in the shop, copy that URL, pop it somewhere safe, okay, and the same thing, I would just add DBWS demo ID and then the corresponding demo ID at the end. Okay, so that would be for a category. And the same thing, exact same thing for a product. If I just hopped into one of those products, okay, you see that the product URL is there. I can do the same thing. I would just copy that, okay, put the same thing at the end. Okay, and then these are the links that I would copy and paste into my Facebook post, my newsletter, or my blog post. Okay? Now there's one other little thing to be aware of, in that if I go back to the shop homepage, you see sometimes that there are these advertising banners within the shop that you might click on. If you do use those to navigate around to different category pages or product pages, then what you'll find is there's some extra information added onto the end of that URL. Okay, so what that is it's giving tracking information to Stampin' Up! When they're tracking what users are doing on this website. But obviously that then looks a bit messy, or it looks a bit confusing when you're creating your own URL. All you have to do in this case is look for that first question mark. Okay, so probably the word here, that's going to be a product or it's going to be a category, but you want to look for that question mark. Okay, if I just copy this to a notepad document to make it a bit clearer, okay, I'm just going to paste that in. You can see it's lots of stuff after that URL. All I need to do is delete from that question mark right the way to the end. Okay, just need to add the question mark back in, and then I put the usual DBWS demo ID equals and my demo ID at the end, and then this would be the link that I would share to in order to send someone to that category. Now it's quite easy to forget that you always need to add this snippet to the end of your URL, because your browser will remember the last shop that you visited. So if you only ever go to your own, it will always come up as default. But if I were to hop into another demonstrator's shop using the link that I know that they've included the demonstrator ID in, you'll see that it would switch to list them as the default demonstrator. Okay, and even if I were to hop back into that window that I had before that listed me and refresh that one, it actually switches and lists them as the demonstrator, because your browser is just remembering the last one that you visited. Now, it's also worth being aware of what happens if you have a customer that has created an account and has actually selected a demonstrator. So I have a customer account on this website, and of course I've selected myself as the demonstrator. Now, if I am to log into that account now, so you'll see that currently Michelle is listed as my demonstrator on this page that I've been sent to. But if I log into my account where I'm listed as the default demonstrator, it then actually gives me the option to stay shopping with the demonstrator I've already selected, or to switch to shop with the demonstrator whose link I've maybe followed. Okay, so I could just click and I could switch, okay, to Shop with Michelle either just one time, or I could just switch and set her as my default demonstrator from now on. Now, this method of copying the URL from the address bar for the page that you need means that this method should work no matter the region that you're in. So the Europe region has www2 for the URL. The US and Canada region doesn't have a number, so it's just www, whereas the South Pacific ones have www3. So that means that kind of the same system works for all of us at the moment. I hope that's been useful. If you have any questions, please get in touch, and don't forget to join my Facebook group for more tips and tricks.